The reading that I chose was The Library of Babel, and I chose this reading because previously to us learning about it in class, I had a little bit of an understanding on the story, as my father had kind of explained it to my siblings and I, because he's interested in philosophy and philosophical stories like that. And I find the idea of there being like this library somewhere with millions upon millions upon millions of books, with every possible combination, sentence, letter, word, space, punctuation, every possible combination of any set of words, any set of letters. I find that idea really fascinating because I think it draws a lot of parallels to specifically society today, and I think that the librarians portrayed in the story do speak really well to the human reaction to things that we don't understand, things that are unknown to us, or things that we're scared of. And I think that the librarians that go in and take the books and destroy them and burn them because they don't understand them, I think that's a very common human reaction. And I also believe that the librarians that, drive themselves mad because they are taking every book and reading every single book and trying to decipher everything, I think that's also a very common human reaction, because humans yearn for an understanding of things. That's just like human nature. And I think that overall, the main idea of this story is talking about how humans deal with so much information, like an overload of information. And I think that specifically today, we live in a time where we're constantly getting information, like technology and social media, like the news. I think like there's just a constant stream of things going on, and just like the internet, like it's completely overwhelming. I mean, it's like it's every answer ever. It's literally the Library of Babel, and I think that I do find it interesting that the author's tone throughout the story is very calm, because I think it gives the reader like an ability to not be so overwhelmed or scared, because that's the natural reaction to a theory like this, something so overwhelming. I think it's nerve-wracking, like it's scary, and I think that the author having such a calm tone speaks to the idea that this story is scary and beautiful, because you have this idea of so much information, like an overwhelmingly large amount of information, and knowing the fact that there is every answer to every question you could have, the meaning of life, what's going to happen in the future, what's going to happen tomorrow, what's going to happen the next day. I think that idea is so scary to some people, and then the juxtaposition of that is the idea that the answers are there, and there's a possibility that you could find them. But I think going back to the idea of being completely overwhelmed by information and drawing it back to society and the internet today, I think that if there is every single answer out there, if every single answer is in the Library of Babel, every single answer is going to have a contradiction. Every single answer is going to have like a different clause. Like everything, there's going to be a contradiction, and that exactly parallels society today, and it exactly parallels the fact that we are in our own Library of Babels. And I think that metaphorically, obviously, it represents the universe, but I think that us being force-fed so much information and having to decipher what's real, what's not, what's, decipher every piece of information that comes into us, I think that it speaks to the idea that the search for these answers to the questions that we have is meaningful. And I think that although the answers may not be found, I think that the search itself is important to humankind. I think the search to find these answers are more important than finding them. And that's why I enjoyed the story.